what Steven Jackson does in this offense that the St. Louis Rams are going to be running, because it's going to be kind of modeled off of what we saw Priest Holmes do in Kansas City with Al Saunders coming over. It'll be fun to see, but this defense, he's going to get a great test today. And this group of linebackers by Philadelphia, young, they can run, they're big, so he'll get a good test. His first game of the season. Read, stories coming out of cities where this guy hasn't lived up to that contract. Drew Bennett can't stay healthy for whatever reason. There's nobody that wants to be on the field more than Drew Bennett.
Bulger taken down on 3rd and 5. Mike Patterson along with Darren Howard combining to sack Bulger back at the 43. All players will wear the Upshaw uniform patch for the entire season. Dante Hall picked up the first down on the last play. First and 10 Rams from their own 31. The end around to Hall, but it does not fool Darren Howard.
The trick plays really don't work with this Eagles. Does not have confidence right now about being out there.
Rams pick up 26 yards thanks to the penalty flag. And now Bulger's pass is caught. What a hit, knocking the helmet right off Jackson, Sheldon Brown. But Jackson celebrates as he picks up the first down as he gains 24.
He doesn't even want the helmet. He threw it to the sideline.
Here's a dimension that Steven Jackson's going to have in this new offense. You get him out wide, get him down the field. Now, when you don't go to training camp, you don't learn some of the subtleties and the nuances. That's one that he's going to make sure he remembers. Wow, did Sheldon Brown put one on him.
And I heard that 40 yards away.
Gotta love his reaction, though, Goose. He popped right up.
Rams in Eagles territory for the first time. Bulger taken down. Quentin Michael, who committed the penalty moments ago, with the sack. Second of the game by the Eagles.
You thought that seeing the Rams and seeing Steven Jackson.
You don't want your offense out there, but the Philadelphia Eagles offense takes the ball and marches right down the field for a touchdown. So maybe not the best decision at the time.
So now it's the Rams who start the second half, and another one of those backward passes which we saw in the first half from Bulger to Jackson.
AFC South playoff hunt last year. I don't think they expected to go out and get whacked by Pittsburgh like that.
Down goes Bulger for the third time.
Lead on
Stan Klecko, who was in at fullback and led the way for Tony Hunt on the Eagles' last touchdown.
What they're going to do. Now I think with today's debut and what they have here on film, they're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. People are going to go and say, man, this team is for real.
I think the big thing is Kenny mentioned at the top of the broadcast, because the Eagles were the one team that didn't make the playoffs out of the end.
Composure, but these last two plays didn't look like the same as all the other ones.
31 and 21 yards, Goose, on the last two completions. From the 29, Bulger wrapped up. Fourth sack for the Eagles, Stuart Bradley.
Jim Johnson must have been thinking the same thing I was, Moose.
Well, yeah, you get a couple of big plays on you. He's not going to let that happen.
28-10 in Ohio on the opening Sunday. Marion Barber snuffed out Brian Dawkins. The veteran still going. 34. Teal can stay healthy and can keep going. It's not out of reach, guys. 66 touchdowns.
It'll be difficult.
I didn't say it would be easy. Romo's throw is intercepted. Asante Samuel. He's got blocks downfield, and Samuel takes it to the 28-yard line. The Eagles wanted a face mask on that one, too. And don't get it, but Romo is picked off. From the 3, Romo lost it in the end zone, loses it again, and instead of a safety, it turns into a touchdown. Romo on Monday night has disasters happen to him. Think of Buffalo last year. Think of the last 2 snaps here. Chris Gokong credited with the touchdown. Marion Barber back in as the back. Fullback Deion Anderson led the way to the right. Barber came to the left. Sheldon Brown finished it off, but the work was done by Chris Gokong.
And Fast Willie running hard. It's a 2nd and 1 for the Steelers. As Parker met before he gets all the way back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. So it's a 3rd and 2 for the Steelers. Alice Baker, the extra receiver. And from the gun. And flags everywhere. That's Dawkins in. The Steelers in the red zone now. 6 times this season they've been inside the 20. They've scored 6 touchdowns. Willie Parker stacked up though, and maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a different team they're facing today on the defensive side.
Oh, I see.
They're all
Okay, go the other way.
yeah, you got it.
First down, play action. Roethlisberger steps up, and again he's dropped. That was Broderick Bunkley who got him by the ankle.
Well, you know what? It's working. If the Steelers don't start blocking the blitz, their quarterback's going to get hit a lot.
3rd down and 3.
They come again.
And Roethlisberger loses the football. Recovered by Philadelphia. That is Broderick Bunkley with the football. Knocked loose by Park.
Approaching the game as a quarterback right now. You got to keep 2 hands on the football at all times. Not be as chance taking. In other words, don't try to move out of the pocket as much. Just get rid of the football.
With 1:59 to go in the half and fully loaded in the timeout department. Roethlisberger airing it out in the double coverage for Washington, and it's pulled down by the Eagles. That's Asante Samuel. A former Patriot has his 2nd pick in a Philadelphia uniform.
They got him double covered, but Asante Samuel, we saw it so much with the New England Patriots. Tremendous ball skills. They say there's not a day that goes by that he does not intercept at least play on words. A separated shoulder back quarterback, your throwing arm sounds bad, but it was really something he could deal with.
So 1st down with heat, and again slung down. Omar Gather with the sack this time. Getting under 3 yards per rush. They go back to Parker. He gets no yardage this time.
You know, Jim, confusion, getting beat, it does a lot of things. Of course, it hurts your self-confidence.
1-3 Denver, so another wild one. Back-to-back weeks in Denver. 2nd down 4, a 6, 2nd down 6, and Parker talking about his frustration level too, Phil.
Oh, well, that was the ultimate run formation for Pittsburgh. Ultimate. They had 3 tight
Eagles 33 and a 3rd and 7. Again, no time. He actually stepped into more pressure and a flag down. Darren Howard, but one to wrap him up this time.
Holding, number 74, offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Football, who a year ago became the oldest rookie in NFL history. From the 6, the Steelers will lose more yardage. Willie Parker collides with Brian Dawkins, a loss of 2.
Brian Dawkins, what we hear this week here in Philadelphia. Too old, can't get it done. Not in the films I watch.
Only picked up first on 3rd down 2 out of 10 times. And it's deafening as Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, applauds. Heath Miller lined up, flanking the quarterback to the left. Noel Moore on the right side of Roethlisberger. Will they get to him again? That's a pass If it's ruled, well, we're still waiting. Is it going to be ruled a pass or a fumble?
After last week, they're going to wait.
Now there's a flag thrown like it's intentional grounding, which would be a safety.
That's what it is, intentional grounding. Trent Cole on the pressure. Looked like Roethlisberger was going to get out there, but once again, the speed of the defense doesn't allow him to make plays outside the pocket.
They call it intentional grounding. It's a 2-point safety.
Let's see if there was a receiver near the throw.
The ruling on the field is quarterback ball. There was no eligible play in the area. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. The play results in a safety.
There you go.
Warning and 3 timeouts.
3rd down, 15. Ball knocked out of the hands of Roethlisberger. Looks like the Eagles have it. As Brian Dawkins, who knocked it out of Roethlisberger's hands. Philadelphia football, and it's Dawkins with the recovery.
Well, the pressure never stopped, and the Eagles never flinched. They didn't get nervous about the tight game. They just kept blitzing. And the Steelers, they got everybody in there to block. It doesn't matter. The will of the Eagles is just stronger than the Steelers today.
6-time Pro Bowler Brian Dawkins, who was hurt during the preseason, had an ankle injury. He had a neck injury last year. You were talking earlier about everyone was saying, well, what about Dawkins?
Yes, because he gave up a couple passes last week against Dallas, and it gets everybody excited to know, hey, look, if I owned a football team, we won a game or think we might win it, I'd get excited too. Fun to watch.
He feels the pressure now for the first time and is taken down.
Run your field goal team on the field and kick.
I know you love this play. I don't know why teams don't adhere to this.
The players are over there going kick the football. I see them making the motion.
You got to get 2 scores anyway, and it's 4th down.
Absolutely. You cannot make this mistake. You have to kick the field goal.
This is what we saw with Washington earlier in the season. A couple of weeks back against the Giants. Leftwich's throw is short, and the Eagles are going to win it. I don't get it. I just don't understand. When you know you need 2 scores, you're going to need a field goal. You're going to need to recover an onside kick.
It's a mistake.
Between the centers and guards. You see them, and then you either have to count for them or not count. If you don't count and they come, you're in trouble. If you do count and they don't come. The Bears are trying to get ready for it. They have 2 blockers on this side, over on their right side.
3rd and 11. Hester was wide to the right. Orton's under pressure, and Orton's going to go down, so you knew they were coming. Jaquay Parker is the first guy to get there, and then Dan Klecko comes in to help finish Orton.
My plate so they could put the rest of it on.
There was enough left for the rest of the guys.
Oh, yeah. No, everyone had plenty.
And meanwhile, Orton will get sacked again. Chris Gokon coming in from the outside out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. 3rd and 12. Here comes the blitz. Orton feels it, but then as he throws it, it is picked off by Darren Howard. Orton was able to move to his left, and Jaquay Parker is the guy who made contact with Orton as he released the ball and sets up the interception for the Eagles.
I think he got there too late because he got pushed too far to the inside.
2nd and 7. The ball is at the 8-yard line. Early in the 3rd quarter. Bears with a golden chance to extend their lead. And Orton throws, and that's picked off in the end zone by Quentin Michael. And Philadelphia will take it at the 20-yard line. And Omar Gaither again coming in, putting pressure on Orton and getting to him just as he released it. In Carolina games.
Right, I mean, I think it's easy to say, you know, you had a 10-point lead and the defense blew it. That's not always true.
Well, the offense is going to put the defense back on the field again here as Jaquay Parker comes in for another sack.
Parker's had a pretty good night. I mean, he looks quick. that they get it from the linebackers, they get it from the safeties, they get it from the corners, and obviously they get it from the front four defensive linemen.
Kevin Jones is the running back now, and he fumbles, and it's going to be recovered by Philadelphia. So they give Forte a breather. They bring in Jones, and he fumbles, and Stuart Bradley recovers for Philadelphia. Hester in motion to the inside. They're going to give it to him in the end around. Hester was blocking. Chased by Brown. Gain of 15. First down.
Yeah, he was covered pretty good. I don't know how the ball even got in there.
5 straight runs on this drive, and now dropping back is Campbell, and down he goes. Brian Dawkins with the sack. 20th career sack for Brian Dawkins, and for the Eagles, they lead the league now with 18.
Well, you see Brian Dawkins, I mean, clearly Jason Campbell thought it was going to be picked.
And 4. Go back from other tight end motions. Gore comes the other way. The Eagles with a good job. Good play.
Quarters. They've all had some impactful moments in this game.
3rd and 10. O'Sullivan under pressure. They got him. First sack of the game. Jaquay Parker takes him down. Parker leading the Eagles now with 4.5 sacks. Second 100-yard game of the season for Gore. And around Delaney Walker, tackle for a big loss by Jaquay Parker. Did somebody miss a block there?
No, Jaquay Parker just didn't fall for the run read. The end, this is just a great job by Jaquay Parker. He's here. He's never going to go with the down blocks. Most of the time you got to squeeze. He's unblocked. He stays home, reads it the whole way, and just makes a huge tackle for loss. That is a crusher against this offense on second down.
And Jaquay Parker, who had the sore knee all week, boy, has he had a terrific game.
He has. He had that knee drained all week, too. That knee was a problem. You've said that a couple times today.
Loss of 10 for the 49ers. They have to get to the 48-yard line for a first down. Arnaz Battle in as a third wide receiver. Vernon Davis motions. And blitz is picked up by Frank Gore. O'Sullivan throws. It's intercepted by Quentin Michael. Michael runs into Frank Gore and is down inside the 10. The first turnover of the game for the 49ers. Roderick Bunkley. Chris Clemens is in on the defensive line for the Eagles, number 91. 3rd and 3. O'Sullivan. The ball hit, knocked out of his hands, and it looks like it's ruled a fumble. The Eagles think they have it.
Trent Cole just came around the side and just batted it out. Now, was J.T. O'Sullivan's arm going forward or not?
They rule fumble, and it's recovered by the Eagles, Chris Clemens.
Here's the problem. There's no challenge left to look at it if you're San Francisco.
That's right. Arts has been saying we're going to hear from him. First of the game, excuse me. Quick toss intercepted. Jaquay Parker, the defensive end. He's heading for the end zone. Touchdown. The defensive end dropped back in coverage and picked off J.T. O'Sullivan and has put this game away for the Eagles.
Well, he threw the bait out there and J.T. O'Sullivan took it. He never saw him. He was lined up. Inside was Jaquay Parker. What a call from Jim Johnson. Great execution from the defensive end, Jaquay Parker, who's had a heck of a football game today.
The Eagles defense
has
done
here. I mean, he just drops it. The receiver never even saw it. The receiver never even saw it. JT was throwing. Isaac Bruce is still running.
Wow.
He never saw the ball was even coming. I think JT O'Sullivan was expecting a hot route, a slant in front of that guy. Isaac never adjusted. Juquay Parker was sitting right in the hole for the interception. And his numbers were outstanding, and you said it. The fourth quarter absolutely belonged to Philadelphia defensively, and they'll close the gap in the East with the Redskins losing today.
Dallas is down 24-21 with 25 seconds to go in their game in Arizona. The Giants, who are 4-0, play tomorrow night in Cleveland. Michael Turner, nothing there. Eagles do the good job. No gain on the play. They've done a real good job on Michael Turner. Second and goal. Harry Douglas in motion. 3 wide receivers. The fade to Roddy White. Bad pass is intercepted by Lito Shepherd. That pass was thrown way too high, floated into the end zone, and I think that flag is going to be against Atlanta.
I agree with you. I think that's offensive pass interference.
Number 84. The pulls is high. The result of the play is a touchdown.
And you said way too high, which it is, but it's way too short. I mean, that thing had a lot of air under it, but it drops about 2-3 yards short of where it needed to, and the corner picks it.
From the 16, Matt Ryan, the Finneran in motion. Michael Turner is brought down for a loss. What a play by Trent Cole. He beat 2 block right, and Chris Myers will be there as well. Glad you're with us as the Falcons on 2nd and 1 and a sack. The first of the game. Chris Gokong takes down Matt Ryan. They again struggling to get points. 1 touchdown in the first half.
Here comes the blitz again.
They got it. Darren Howard gets there for the 2nd sack of the game on Matt Ryan.
And you can tell here, they're not going to come after it. They're going to set up double guys out on the gunners and try to set up a good return to get good field position.
Rocco with plenty of time. Wobbly kick. Here comes Adam Jennings. It bounced in front of him. Did he touch it? The Eagles have the ball. And it's brought into the end zone by Hakeem Jordan. And we'll see what the ruling is on
Seneca Wallace already with a 90-yard touchdown pass to Corin Robinson. Hands off to Julius Jones, and nowhere to go as he tries to stretch it outside. And a loss on the play of 3. Maurice Morris, number 20, is now the tailback. And on the end around, Corin Robinson is trapped behind. So the Eagles not fooled whatsoever.
Little guy.
Here is Julius Jones back in the lineup, and nothing there. Bradley right in the middle of that. No gain for a guy to deliver.
Right? Especially those young guys. It takes him sometimes a full year.
Here's the pitch to Morris on 3rd and 3, going nowhere, and will lose yardage as the 3rd quarter comes to an end.
Got to get better at that.
Seneca Wallace can't get away from all of the on-rushing Eagles, and there is Omar Gaither with the first sack of the game for the Eagles. The thing is, the Seahawks have not turned the ball over against the Eagles. Wallace trying to hold on to it, and he does. Juquay Parker closes in on it. Took 2 of his sons over across the street to the World Series. He was as big a fan as anyone in Philadelphia. 3rd down and 10. And down goes Seneca Wallace. Didn't have a chance to really get his targets. Still 1 play left, barring a penalty. And Seneca Wallace goes down, and that is an emphatic end as Chris Clemens gets the sack to end the game. And that is the 4th sack for the Eagles, who win it by a score of 26-7.
Even the year before that, he would always start off a little answer.
He answered a lot of questions in January and February last year. And now that pass is taken away by Patterson. The defensive tackle takes it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So just when you begin to talk about the comfort level, the one thing the Philadelphia defense can do is make you very uncomfortable in a hurry. And this is Ward. And Ward that time can't bounce away from the initial contact as Trent Cole, number 6.
Looks like to me a tailback, running at tailback.
From the 44-yard line, they fake it to him. And Manning's going to get sacked. So the play fake that time didn't stop the rush as Trent Cole and Mike Patterson come in from left end and right tackle respectively.
In a window, you'll find him in an empty window.
Eli 13 out of 17 for 143. Jacobs to the outside. Jacobs loses the ball as he reached what would have been a first down, and the Eagles recovered. He dove over Asante Samuel and then loses the ball, and the Eagles with a big recovery. It's Mike Patterson, who earlier had the interception, who comes away with the fumble recovery.
Well, Asante Samuel's 5'10", 185. And you know that anytime you're the smaller guy, you're going to take the big guy low.
On that side of the ball in Philadelphia, Bradshaw's in the game. He gets it, and this time the defense is up to the task as Bradley and company stop him for no gain. Ward is the running back. The Eagles crowd the line. Ward, and he will not get it, and the ball is loose. Dawkins came from behind to tackle him, and the ball is loose. The Eagles feel they have it. The officials...
This season, 2 tight ends, 1st and 10 from the 36. The toss to Benson, who tries to turn the corner, but he cannot. Tackled from behind by Stuart Bradley. 1st and 10 from the Eagles 33. 3 wide receivers. Fitzpatrick in trouble. Trent Cole, down he goes. Back at the 38-yard line. 5th sack of the season for University of Cincinnati product. Trent Cole lost 4 on the sack on the previous play. 3rd down and 18. Bengals have to get to the 23. Fitzpatrick sacked back at the 49-yard line by Joselio Hansen. Loss of 8 more yards, 2nd sack of the series. On 2nd and goal, Fitzpatrick bottled up behind the line, taken down by Broderick Bunkley.
Gets on him. I want to do more, Coach. I want to do more, but watch this game today. He's doing the most that I see out there on their offense right now, and Mushu pointed it out. Those short passes, when he gets the ball in his hands, that's when he's most effective.
Off the play fake, Trent Cole with his 2nd sack today.
Nothing like being in the old stomping ground.
Kenny Watson, the lone back, 3rd down and 9. Bengals have to get to the 17. And Fitzpatrick is taken down for the 5th time today. Sheldon Brown with his 1st sack of the season.
Well, this is not bad. They bring everybody up. Philadelphia's got everybody up in the A-gaps, right between guard center. Chris Perry gets in, steps up inside. But Sheldon Brown, some of these guys you just can't account for. Philadelphia brought more blitzers than the Cincinnati Bengals were able to block. So that ball had to come out a lot quicker. I wonder if somebody missed an adjustment.
Well, Jim Johnson knows that you have an injury on the offensive line. Guys are getting shuffled around. He's going to go and bring something, some kind of pressure to go and make it as difficult as possible for those guys to be on the same page.
Instead of attempting a 51-yard field goal, Bengals going for it on 4th down. And Fitzpatrick is tackled at the 27-yard line by Chris Clemens.
Yeah, you just got to get outside on that one. Buy a little bit of time. You've got
Falcons 4-0 at home this year. 3rd down and 3. Fitzpatrick moving to his left, down back at the 41-yard line. Chris Clemens. 3rd down and 2. Fitzpatrick wrapped up, sacked for the 7th time today. Darren Howard with his 7th sack of the season.
TJ's up in the slot to the top.
3rd down and 11. Fitzpatrick in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 46-yard line. Darren Howard bringing down Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That ball's got so much velocity that it gets there before the corners can.
2 tight ends in. McGahee stopped in the backfield by Akeem Jordan. Jordan getting the start today in place of Omar Gaither for the Eagles. The Ravens start from the Eagles 43. Ron McClain shifts. Ray Rice. Oh, he stopped immediately. Mike Patterson. What penetration. Boy, did he get off the ball. Games behind the Giants in the NFC East. Flacco dropping back, and he's sacked. Chris Gokong was there. And Victor Abiamiri leading the way.
A student of the game.
Thanks, Chris. Ravens have to get to the Eagles 33 for first down. Flacco being chased by Trent Cole. He's got him by the ankle, and he throws the ball away. And let's see if that's ruled a sack.
I think it is going to be in the grasp. I believe that.
So another sack for Trent Cole. Ravens start from the Eagles 28. Keep motions. Willis McGahee stop for a loss. Boy, the Eagles defense and the Ravens defense really in quite a battle. Trevor
pass rush.
And here come the Ravens on 3rd and 10. And the handoff to Ray Rice, and he's wrapped up at the 35-yard line. That's a loss of a yard. Try to surprise, try to get in a field goal.
It's talking to you. It's got some hum on it.
Picked up 22 on the last play. Mark Clayton motions. LeRon McClain, nothing there. Eagles stack him up short of the line of scrimmage. Good job up front.
No excuse for it.
Lito Shepard remains in for Asante Samuel, left cornerback. Mark Clayton went in motion. Here's Ray Rice. He slips in the backfield. There's a flag down, and the Eagles cover him for a loss.
5,000 rushing yards at Rutgers.
A little more speed than Tiki has. Blitz coming. Flacco is hit from behind by Quentin Michael. The ball's still loose, and the Ravens cover it back at their own 36-yard.
Cardinals. Warner with 21 touchdown passes this season. Tim Hightower dragged down from behind by Chris Gokong. He'll lose a yard as we look at the starting offense of the Arizona Cardinals.
And Bolden are just sensational catching the football.
Gain of 17. Hightower trying to bounce it outside, shut down by Quentin Michael and Stuart Bradley as we take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles. 2nd and 13. Bolden in motion. Warner nearly intercepted, and it is. Ocelio Hansen off the deflection gets the turnover. Bradley had a chance, couldn't convert, but Hansen gets his first sack of the season.
I was just about to talk about what a huge loss.
And 6 for Warner. Has some time, fastball high, intercepted by Quentin Michael. His 3rd pick of the year. And Michael run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 2 possessions, 2 interceptions by Kurt Warner. Hightower in a 1-back set. Warner gets hammered, but he gets it off to Bolden, who fumbles the football, and the Eagles have it. Warner got it off to Bolden, who's had the drops tonight, and he coughed it up. They were helped by the Play 60 program and the generous donations from you, the fans. Arizona will go for it here on a 4th and 4, down 41-20. Warner with time has it batted down at the line, incomplete. Trent Cole knocked it away.
Well, mission accomplished for the Philadelphia Eagles. In there and playing that slot corner has been terrific tonight. They have shut down this high-flying passing game.
Arizona will go for it on 4th and 1. Warner looking for Urban, intercepted by Brian Dawkins. His first pick of the year, and he's run out of bounds at the Arizona 45-yard line. 3rd interception by Warner, and the 2nd forced turnover by Brian Dawkins, who forced the fumble earlier and now gets the pick.
Oh, by the way, did I mention Brian Dawkins? Check him out right here. He sees Kurt Warner looking right all the way. He breaks early, and it's going to be no contest. Easy pick for Brian Dawkins, the veteran, who once again has come up with huge plays in this one.
He's just tied Eric Allen and Bill Bradley with his 34th career interception.
Allow the quarterback to be able to execute short passes. You're not going to have as much impact on that throw as you will down the field. Challenge him to force it down the field.
On 2nd and 5, the end around to the rookie Mario Manningham. And Manningham is tackled back at the 44-yard line. A loss of 12 yards on the play.
This is a
3 wide receivers. Derek Lloyd in the backfield. Steve Smith in the slot.
Looks like they're bringing the blitz on this one.
Here they come. Manning throws, and it's broken up. Sheldon Brown getting a piece of it. Pass was intended for Dominic Hickson in the first meeting. They felt he played better than they expected. Ward, this time, stuffed for a loss. Trent Cole, the initial hit.
Half a yard. This way, if you do go a little bit early, you still have that little bit of area or room, a cushion, that you won't be offsides when you go early.
Jacobs on 2nd and 3, wrapped up in the backfield by Chris Gokong.
That's a nice play by Chris Gokong, because he is not free by any means.
That's exactly where he slid. So he's not only has vision of the secondary, but the line of scrimmage of where he can go and gain a little time to get that ball downfield.
And Carney's kick is blocked. A 47-yard attempt. Carney had hit 14 in a row. And Trent Cole got a piece 3. Knowing that the Eagles are out of timeouts. Manning on 4th down. Dropped by Steve Smith. Took a hard hit from Asante Samuel and could not hold on. Giants in Eagles territory from the 47. Ahmad Bradshaw. Trent Cole, the initial hit. Cole coming into this game, Darryl, leads the league in tackles for negative yardage. 4 wide receivers on 4th and 1. Manning looking to throw. And he's hit from behind by Darren Howard. So for the 3rd time today, the Giants go for it on 4th down and cannot convert.
Dorsey gives to Lewis, and Brian Dawkins, setting an Eagle record tonight for most games played by an Eagle ever, makes the tackle. Well, we talked a little bit about Ken Dorsey. For those who don't remember who Kenny Dorsey is, starts ever by a Philadelphia Eagle here tonight.
And Brian Dawkins is all about energy. That's what he brings this Eagle defense. Complex, sophisticated, it's fast, it's quick, and he is really the guy that fuels them.
Flash package, Cribbs carries, and on cue, Dawkins closes in to make the tackle.
That play was doomed. That was just doomed from the start. They weren't doing anything.
Well,
3rd and a half dozen. Looks like the pressure will come to Dorsey's left. Throws intercepted. Asante Samuel. Touchdown.
Do you remember when they got Asante Samuel? The reason they got Asante Samuels was that play, was to make interceptions because they felt as good as their defense.
Getting ready for the opening game.
It's been his history. Injured.
Dorsey to Stuart Bradley. He's wearing the other team's uniform. 37-yard line, the Eagles will take over.
Don't you feel sad for Romeo Crennel?
On the helmet of the Browns this season. On the blitz. Quentin Demps steps in for his first National Football League sack. The 4th-round pick out of UTEP. Getting some time as Brian Dawkins has called it a night.
Jim Johnson continues to dial up the blitz. He doesn't care what the score is, how much time's left in the game. He can't help himself. He's got a blitz. Here comes Will Demps getting the sack.
Jim Johnson on the current Mount Rushmore of defensive coordinators. Dick LeBeau, Monty Kiffin, those old sages. 4th down interception is dropped by Sheldon Brown. And that'll bring business to a close. The Eagles defense only allowing the field goal as the Browns score that pick 6. On a night when Brian Dawkins set the record for the most games played by an Eagle. 181, breaking Harold Carmichael's.
A blitz. Redskins and Campbell have it stripped away. Washington gets back on top, but it's 4th down. Completion. Out of the shotgun. Campbell is sacked, and he got hit hard by Darren Howard. And now Washington will spend one of their 2 remaining timeouts, and that was a big play by Howard. His 9th sack, and it pushes the ball all the way back. First down, Washington. Campbell is sacked. Brought down on the play by Trent Cole. Pass. 2nd and 10. And Portis just gets swallowed up by Chris Gokong. A loss of 3.
Brian Dawkins, meantime, he said it didn't matter what happened in the earlier games. What we focus on is the hated Dallas Cowboys. We do not want them coming in our house and beating us. Dawkins, as you know, only plays with one gear, and that's passionately. And he expects his teammates to completely follow suit.
Cowboys down 7. Blitz from the Eagles. Handoff is to Choice, and Choice loses 2. First guy there was Bunkley, and 2nd and 5 for Dallas, down by 14. This one to the sideline. Williams wasn't looking for it. Sheldon Brown with the interception. And Romo and Roy Williams were not on the same page. There is a flag down in the middle of the field.
Holding offense. Number 71. Penalty is declined. First down.
Come back. You know what's going to happen. A new deal would eliminate all that conversation.
Squib kick by Akers. Here is Pac-Man Jones. And Pac-Man loses the football. Has it ripped out, and the Eagles take over. And with 5 seconds left, they'll have an opportunity for a field goal by David Akers. 2nd and 15. Another blitz from the Eagles. And knocked out of the hand by Dawkins. Fumbled by Romo. Down the field. Clemens. A stiff arm and a touchdown.
Romo just trying to buy some time, and then you see the strip. And Chris Clemens is able to pick it up after Dawkins knocks it out. And it's a foot race between him and Mark Colombo. But Choice had a chance there at the end to bring him to the ground also, and was unable to do so. Just great defensive play by a lot of people. Just got
a blitz. Marion Barber loses the football. Jose Leo Hansen on the return. Only Romo can get close to him. It's another defensive touchdown. Dawkins stripped another.
I think the party started a while ago, but if it didn't, it sure has now.
And that party has been led by number
station. They haven't seen it pay any dividends here for the Cowboys.
Romo's in trouble again. Clemens up his back, knocks it out. Trevor Laws on the fumble recovery. Last couple of times the Cowboys have gotten into the Eagles' red zone, the Eagles have turned it into touchdowns. And now Darren Howard just rips Tony Romo to the ground. A loss of 7 with that sack.
The Packers, even though they were 13-3 a year ago, went to the championship game, they lost Brett Favre.
Bollinger is swallowed up by Clemens, who's had a fantastic day. And they just keep adding to the defensive statistics.
The Minnesota Vikings last week against the Giants, they saw a number of blitzes.
Toss to Adrian Peterson running left, and he loses a yard. Chris Gokong there to make the stop.
they've done a great job stopping the run all season long.
Handoff is to Peterson, and Peterson was met by Trent Cole. But Trent Cole wasn't alone. You know, we talked
that this team hasn't seen before on film.
Here is Chester Taylor, and he loses 1.5 yards. Quentin Michael, the outstanding young safety, is taken over as the starter, and he's had a Pro Bowl type year. He was the one to get in there and make that play. But it's 9-7 Eagles, 3rd down and 4 for the Vikes. Jackson hit as he let it go, and it's intercepted by Asante Samuel. Samuel gets a block and gets the touchdown. The pass was intended for Sidney Rice. Tavares Jackson was hit as he let the ball go, and Asante Samuel, a Pro Bowler, the big free agent addition who had 4 picks during the regular season, stepped in front for the pick 6.
Yeah, they get pressure in his face, and then he's trying to throw the out route, and Asante Samuel's cluing him the entire time and just jumps it. One, it's a ball that was thrown behind him, probably because of the pressure, and Chris Clemens just upends Tavares Jackson on the other end.
2nd down and 5. Chester Taylor nowhere to go. A loss of about half a yard on the play, so now 3rd down.
Well, it's a good job right now for Philadelphia, considering that it was 1st and 5 just a moment ago, and now it's 3rd and 5. And, you know, as we've talked about so many times, you know, these games come down to who can convert on 3rd down. Minnesota did a great job of that in the first half, and now Philadelphia has a chance to play on 3rd down, as we've seen over the previous weeks.
Coming on a blitz, and the ball is knocked out. Tavares Jackson able to get back on top of it. Brian Dawkins coming on a blitz, got his hand in there and knocked it out of the right hand of Tavares Jackson. A loss of 12 on the play, and it's 4th down.
It's amazing how many times we see this from Brian Dawkins when he comes in on the blitz. I mean, he really is trying to go for the arm with the ball, and he has a chance to knock it out. And a good job by Tavares Jackson being able to get back on. He has the ability to run, but he's really more of a pocket passer.
Here's a bad snap, and it's recovered by Philadelphia and Jaquay Parker. And that might just do it. Basically a 29-yard penalty as the Giants start at their own 13, and this one's picked off by who else? Asante Samuel. Samuel is down inside the 5, very near the 1. He had 1 return for a touchdown last week. That is his 7th career postseason interception, and he sets up 1st and goal at the 2.
You know, good idea by New York. They're going to come out on the bootleg, but they don't fool the Philadelphia Eagles. They hold containment. They don't let Eli out on the edge, and that's just a throw that got away from Eli. You know, he had a chance. He had a chance, but because of pressure, he released it, and it was a high throw.
Eli Manning had to make the tackle. Asante Samuel now has 1 interception, at least 1, 7 of the last 10 postseason games. It is. And he didn't move at all. It certainly looks like the Philadelphia defense held, but it depends on what kind of forward progress they gave Eli Manning, and they did not give him enough. Philly takes over.
Well, you take a look, you find it hard to believe that you couldn't get low enough in order to pick up 4 inches or 6 inches or whatever it was. You know, the line gets stood up, but you got to get lower and get underneath all that as the quarterback. If you do nothing else but dive forward at the feet of the offensive lineman, you're going to pick up that 1st down. You can't run as high as what Eli was trying to pick this up. I mean, there's enough movement there that you should be able to stay low enough as the quarterback
A direct snap to Ward running right. Parker makes the play for Philadelphia. What a good play by Jaquay Parker. And now it's 4th down again for the Giants. They went for it before. And they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, and I think that they should, since they did previously. But this is the second time now on 3rd down that the Eagles have been able to stretch the running play. And both times it's been Derek Ward. You know, he wants to be able to hit that thing much sooner than what he's able to. But because of the play of Jaquay Parker and the others along that defensive line, they've been able to stretch it out and keep them from picking up the 1st down.
It's 4th down and 2. They stay on the ground with Jacobs. Jacobs doesn't appear to have enough. It depends on the spot. He appeared to be a half-yard short. Stuart Bradley, middle linebacker, made the play.
Well, there just wasn't much movement inside. Take a look and see, and you see that right there, Broderick Bunkley is the one who holds it up. But Broderick Bunkley, for the 2nd time on 4th down, he does it. On the previous 4th down, he did it. On this 4th down, he holds up Sean O'Hara, the center, and backs him right into Brandon Jacobs.
We're going to have a measurement. Certainly looked like Jacobs was short, and on 3rd and short and then 4th and 2, they take the ball out of the hands of Eli Manning, try and run to pick up the 1st down. And they don't get it. Back-to-back series, the Philadelphia Eagles defense wins the battle with this Giants offensive line, and they take over up by 9. What they've had to do on the last 2 drives that have ended with the Giants turning it over on downs, and now Eli Manning turns it over with his arm. 2nd interception, this one by Quentin Michael.
Yeah, they were loading up throughout this game to stop the run, but on this possession they were playing coverage all the way, knowing that the only chance the Giants have to get back in this game is to make some big plays throwing the football. And Quentin Michael, you're going to see he's sitting back here in a cover 2 defense, and Eli thought that Steve Smith was going to get to the middle.
From Westbrook, outside of the attention he gets, 18 carries, 36 yards. That's 2 carries per rush, or 2 yards per rush, and 2 catches for 10 yards as the ball pops out to Steve Smith. The Eagles take over, another turnover, and this one is over. So Troy, 20 touches for Westbrook, 46 total yards. But it's this defense that is celebrating again for Philadelphia.
Yeah, the defense stepped up and they made the plays, you know, right from the beginning on through right now. And coming into the game, they talked about, the Giants that is, talked about, hey, we've got to be able to control Westbrook, and they did.
And Warner and Arrington bang into each other. And Arrington is wrapped up back near the 30 by Chris Clemens.
Yeah, there was a miscommunication there in the huddle on the exchange.
A blitz, and finally Warner goes down in the arms of Trent Cole. A loss of 7 to bring up 3rd down and a mile.
Well, that was when the Eagles.
2nd and 10. More trouble for Warner, and he overshoots Hightower, and Warner got plastered at the end of that play. The Eagles have just 1 sack in this game, but they're starting to get a little closer around Kurt Warner.
And the hits are getting a little bit harder. I mean, you're going to see right here, he gets sandwiched right at the end of this, and Kurt is as tough as they come. You know, you talk about all the things that he does well, throwing the football and reading and things out and going through his progressions. I mean, you've got to be tough in order to hang in there and make some of the throws under duress like he has today.
Third down and 10. Warner steps up, has to slide, and down he goes. Play was made by Abi Amiri. And now the Philadelphia defense, which has been so good down the stretch for the Eagles, steps up, makes plays, and a loss of 4. Again, 19 points scored. Unanswered points scored by the Eagles in the last 8 minutes, 23 seconds. Here is Edgerrin James. And now the Eagles would like to see their defense take over this game the way they've taken over the first 2 postseasons.
A guy who only had 9 receptions during the regular season, I'm sure he was as surprised as anybody that it was coming in his direction.
Here is James, ran into a wall, and all he can do is get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and short.
And this has been a problem for Arizona.